Hey, y'all. How's it going? Hi, Justin. Hi, Missy. Hi, Julie. How you guys doing? It's nice to see you, Julie. Julie, am I going to see you next weekend? Are you coming? Are you coming to the wedding? Me and Annie went yesterday, and we both found a dress. And I got this cute. It's white with a bunch of pink flowers all over it, and some tan sandals. So I think that'll look nice. And Annie's is really colorful too. So hello, Uncle. Ooh, ugh, yeah. So we were talking. I don't know how many of you got. I know they're on Instagram and they're on TikTok. I don't know what other one they're on. So I'm just going to tell. I'm putting them out there. They're called Porchcast. It's a number. Anyway, it's Porchcast something. And it's two fellas from their garage. And they've been friends their whole lives. And it's them two and their two wives. And the wives sit there and videotape them doing all this. And they try to eat these crazy things. And oh my, it's the funniest shit. Hi, Spirit Stalker. Roomba! What's up, fucker? Two-Ton. Two-Ton is in the house. How are you? Two-Ton Topher. So how's everybody doing? Anyway, if you guys are on Instagram, you guys need to go and follow their Porchcast something, and it's so funny. They are hysterical. I mean, this one guy, he's a blonde, and they've been friends since childhood and his name is Chris anyway, the blonde, and oh, he has a weak stomach. And the other one has a weak stomach too, but the other one is usually pretty good until he gets it into his mouth. And then he starts gagging. But the other one, just looking at it, he's already gagging. It's hilarious. It's so funny. You guys really need to watch them. I need to start. I don't think they're on Facebook. Like, I'd really like to save the videos and put on Facebook. So I might be able to do that from TikTok. I'm not able to save Instagram videos. Anyway, they're so funny. And how is everyone doing? Did you guys have a good few days? They're so funny, Two-Ton. Topher Two-Ton, that's right. Topher picked his own name because of his big old heavy forehead. So he's Two-Ton Topher because he has the Two-Ton forehead. So Topher Two-Ton. Anyway, so I decided to start a new series. So a new series, we're going to go through every state. And we're going to talk about every state and the hauntings in each and every state. So Missy helped me out with this, and she did send me the whole thing from Massachusetts. So that's the state we're going to start with. It's okay, Spirit Stalker. It is no rush. I ain't going nowhere. I'll be right here. I sent you my address, so you got it. Anyway, so it's going to be Massachusetts tonight, and I've got some place, and you guys, I know you guys have heard me talking about some things from Massachusetts. So let's get started. Now we're going to start with the New Bedford Armory. Now, apparently Bedford is like the most haunted town next to Salem in Massachusetts. Now, the New Bedford Armory, it was featured on an episode of the Ghost Hunters. There's a room where a sergeant hanged himself. Now, ghost hunters have said to see a strange mist that floats around. It will follow them, and you can even walk through it. It's been noted that it's like they're trying to meet you. So, this armory was built in 1904. for the Army National Guard and expanded in 1935. So it served as training, meeting, and storage facility until it closed in 2004. It was later damaged by a fire in March of 2009 and then was boarded up for over a decade. It's known for all the soldiers that worked, served, and died in that building for World War I. Now, in November 2004, the team TAPS investigated it on the TV show, the TV Ghost Hunters. They are the TAPS. I've watched them before. I like their group. They've said there's a black hooded figure lurking around, and it would shove people from behind. The heavy doors throughout the building will open and slam shut by themselves. TAPS claimed to encounter several spirits, but the most profound experience was the spirit that hit their soundman, Frank DeAngelis, in the face. It threw his equipment across the room, striking him in the face and knocking him to the ground. He said he then felt the spirit move through him while he was on the ground. I don't think I watched that episode, but I like all of TAPS. I do enjoy watching them. I even told you guys about the I would love to go to Massachusetts. I already we're talking about Lizzie Borden House too. And if y'all know me, y'all know that's number one on my bucket list. Number one for me is Lizzie Borden House on the ghost hunting bucket list. So, yeah. But if I were there, you live in New Bedford, and you haven't been here, you make one, girl, and then I want to know what you made when you come back. I would love to go there. How have you not been there, Missy? Like she lives only 30 minutes or so from the Lizzie Borden house. If I live 30 minutes from there, y'all know where my ass would be all the time. Where's your uncle's house? What state? And we will talk about that when I get to that state. Because I'm doing every state. Oh, Michigan. Well, I can make Michigan next. It's an M. I can stay in the M's until... Well, it is. It is. And the thing is, I decided to do a cup for every month, right? And these were only $1. Like it was like $5 for 15 of these things, right? And they come with their own straw and tops. So I ordered them and I said, fuck it, I'm just going to decorate my own for each month. And this is for March. Mm-hmm. No. We'll do it I'll do Michigan. And we'll talk about it because I will even let you know. And you can even come on as a guest. See? So I'll make Michigan the next state. How about that? Okay. I still can't believe you haven't been to this armory thing. I'd be like, y'all need to, let's go. We're going. This chair rubs against my thing and makes that squeaky noise. Anyway, this next place is in Fairhaven, Massachusetts, and it's called the Millicent Library. Now, this is haunted by its namesake, the daughter of Huddleston Rogers, a well-known financial backer of many of the historical buildings in that town. So the daughter, Millicent, was buried in the library's foundation. It's said that her apparition is seen there quite often, roaming around. Her spirit is haloed by a blue light, and that will catch the eye of almost every person who goes to this library. There is a second apparition that is also seen here, just not as often. A former janitor who was employed there for many years died in the building. He collapsed while he was working. UP. I don't know what that means. Is UP, is that a town in Michigan? Oh, Upper Peninsula. Woohoo! Okay. All right. So Millicent passed of heart failure at the age of 17 in 1890. The Rogers family donated this library to the town in January of 1893. Now, Millicent loved the library, and she was buried in the foundation. She was a very avid, she loved to read, and her favorite thing was poetry. Just to the left of the main entrance, you will see a stained glass window made by Clayton Bell of London. Her remains are located in a small corner of the foundation underneath that window. She makes herself seen often, usually in the poetry section. Now, there are some places that I did look up to try to get more info, and I'm telling all I could find about each place. Sault Ste. Marie, Buchanan. Oh, see, down here in Florida, I'm in North Florida. I'm in South Florida. That everybody knows. You're just more apt for hurricanes or not? So South Florida, you are in the tip of the penis. The Keys are the ejaculation of the penis. And the North Florida is basically up by the balls of the United States, basically. That's how we can figure out where you live in Florida. His forehead points to the west, 2 tons. Forehead points to the west. Okay. Oak Grove Cemetery. This is in Fall River, Massachusetts, 30 minutes away from Missy. Known for being the burial place of Lizzie Borden and her family. People who visit have claimed to hear screaming from the Borden plot and always feel very uneasy when they're near it. Now, some people have also claimed to see unexplained lights going on and off. Mists are often seen here during the day and at night. It was established in 1855 and is 120 acres. It was added to the National Register of Historical Places in 1983. Abby Borden and Andrew J. Borden are buried there along with Lizzie. They all share a plot. Now, I believe Lizzie had a sister. I can't remember if she had a brother, but I know she had an uncle, the dad's brother. Now, from that cemetery, we move on to the Lizzie Borden house. Y'all have heard me talk about this place, okay? Now, this is also in Fall River, Massachusetts. It's located 12.2 miles from Bedford. This is the home of the double axe murder of Lizzie's father, Andrew Borden, and her stepmother, Abby Borden. Now, Abby was the second and final wife of Andrew. The house is open daily from 10 a.m. to midnight. It operates as a bed and breakfast as well as a museum featuring a variety of tours. People claim seeing, hearing, and experiencing things throughout the day and the night, throughout the whole house. Apparitions, mists, smells, things moving, hovering, then dropping are seen here daily. You've been to the cemetery? Missy, you ran back to your car. Get out of here. What did you see or hear something? I was reading. I'm sorry, I didn't pay attention to the comment. You saw or heard something at the cemetery? What did you hear? Girl, we need to talk about this. Okay. They also now offer virtual tours 7 days a week from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. that you can set up if you can't go there and you wanted to see it for yourself. You can actually do a virtual tour and go on the tour of the entire house, of all the rooms, of everything. You heard screaming. Was it from the plot or just heard screaming in general? Did you even go to that plot? You're back. What drink did you make, Spirit Stalker? Okay. So a virtual tour seems kind of, I don't know how much they are or anything like that, but this is what I found. So the story of the murders is still unsolved. I'm not sure if you heard the story, but I'm going to go over it. So the stepmother, Abby, was beat to death with a hatchet while she was upstairs making the bed. Now, the father's brother, which is her uncle, he was supposed to come and stay and visit. And so they were getting the house clean and food prepped and the bedroom ready and everything. They were allowing him, very nice. They were allowing him to come and stay and visit. Okay. Now, this is apparently the brother did not get along with Abby. Okay. We're going to move on. She was beat to death with a hatchet while she was making the bed upstairs. While Andrew had just gotten home and laid down for a nap, he took 11 strikes to his head with the same hatchet. Oh, very nice. Very nice. Now, Lizzie is known to be the one who found the bodies. All evidence found in the investigation pointed to Lizzie in every way, also with her being covered in blood and having no emotional reaction. All showed that she had rendered them lifeless. Her fingerprints were on the hatchet, even though there were others that had motive as well. So Lizzie and Abby didn't get along. Lizzie did not really care for her stepmother, and apparently it was a constant battle. Bridget Sullivan, their housekeeper, for a long time, she did everything from cleaning the house to cooking, getting Lizzie dressed, etc. The morning of the murders, now Bridget, along with the whole family, the day before had gotten some food poisoning, apparently. Now, she had gotten food poisoning as well, and she was already taking care of her regular duties, and then Abby added a bunch more duties on her, and she wasn't happy about it at all. So Bridget was pissed off. Now, her statement was found to be false because she said she was cleaning the upstairs bedroom when she heard Lizzie scream downstairs because she found her father dead. But it was already known that Abby was already dead in the upstairs bedroom Bridget was claiming to be in. So why did she lie? That's what we're trying to. Okay. So did Lizzie cover for her? Like it's still like not solved. Did Lizzie cover for her? What? We don't understand what happened there. Now, I didn't know this part about the Lizzie Borden house, and this makes me want to go even more. Several years before Abby and Andrew got whacked in the house, Lizzie's aunt, which was Eliza Borden, which was the mom's sister, it's Lizzie's biological mom's sister. So her aunt, Eliza Borden, lived in that house. She murdered her 3 children and then took her own life. So could this have caused a curse, with the family? Like, was it a curse? Were they into that witchcraft stuff? Were they, it was all back in the same era as the witchcraft and all that going on. We're going to get to that in here too in a minute. But, we don't know. We don't know. I don't know, but they're saying that this house was just prone for murder because it was 3 murders and a suicide, and then 2 bludgeons in there. So that's 5 people murdered in that house and 1 suicide. Right? So I want to go there so bad. Oh, I want to go there so bad. So it's still unsolved. Oh, and I didn't even write about the uncle. The uncle apparently arrived after all this shit happened to find all this mess going on. But they're thinking, did he have something to do with it? It's just weird how he was coming to visit that at the same time. Your kind of family. Oh, shit. Yeah, so anywho, I want to go there so bad. Okay. Also in Fall River, Massachusetts, there is a place, I don't know if I'm saying this correctly. Okay. Kukachan Club. It's the Kukachan Club in Fall River, Massachusetts. It's Queuechan. Kukachan, right? That's how I would. Other than that, it would be Kiki Chan or Kwee Chan. I don't know, but that's anyway. It's 12.4 miles from Bedford. This was founded. The club was founded in 1894, but before that, it was built in 1861 and was a private home. Oh. And was there anything through your family, anything, rumors through your family down to you about it? Did they see, hear, smell? Okay. Now, this was a private home. built in 1861, and in 1894, the Kyokuchin Club was founded, and it was a gentleman's club. The bedrooms upstairs were used as private quarters for visitors who would pay to have their private time, if y'all know what I mean. Now, it has changed different things over the years. In the 70s, it was changed to a bed and breakfast with a pub downstairs that allowed people to smoke inside. It's been reported as haunted by ghost hunters and mediums who have visited the property, but we have no official stories on any deaths that have taken place. Would not speak of it. Oh, shit. Did your dad ever say he heard anything about it? Because, I mean, the grandmother could have said, don't you go over there, or, what happened over there, I mean, just curiosity. Okay. Apparently, the owner has attempted to find all prior history without any luck. So there's no solid proof to be found of any murders or suicides or anything on this property. Now, people have claimed to see apparitions, ghosts in the upstairs windows, and by people who have stayed, they claim they hear screams and laughing from rooms that nobody's in, and things go missing, like they're moved or misplaced, and then they reappear. That's all I can find on this Kyokuchin Club. So we have no solid proof of anything there, but apparently people that have stayed there have spoken. Now, there's also a place in Falmouth, 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 Massachusetts, is called Highfield Hall. Now, this was built in 1878 for the Beebe family. It's Beebe. It was in bad shape, and historic Highfield bought it and started renovating it. Now, Mary Louisa Beebe lived in the house, and she succumbed to cancer in her room when she was 45 years old. Now, the Beebe family bought almost 700 acres of land in 1872. Now, they designed and built the Highfield Hall. They also built Tanglewood, which is another mansion on the property. They had their family cemetery on the property as well, but for their horses and pets, they had a whole separate cemetery, but especially for the pets and horses. It has been a health resort, a religious hotel, and it's been stables and a theater. It was restored and marked a historical site in 2006. Now, it's still open as a bed and breakfast and a museum. Mary Louisa Beebe was the last of her family to live in the house. She loved the house and apparently has never left it. People have seen her peering out of the upstairs window. Things move. They fly across the room. You can smell her perfume and hear her cry in the room she passed in. Now, I would go there. I would go there and stay. Absolutely. Yeah. But yes, that is called the Highfield Hall. Now, this is called, I don't know if I'm saying it right, it's the Hoosac Tunnel, which is Hoosac. Oh, I am in shorts and I'm sticking to the chair. This is in Western Massachusetts. Now, it's a 4.75 mile railroad tunnel that cuts through the Hoosac Range or Hoosac. It runs in a straight line from its east portal along the Deerfield River into that town, Deerfield Beach, in Florida, to its west portal. Construction of the tunnel began in 1851 and ended in 1875. 195 workers died while building that tunnel. They died from explosions, falling rocks, or accidents from people falling off ladders or scaffolding. It was named the Bloody Pit. Now, paranormal teams have reported hearing moans and screams and cries of agony coming from inside this tunnel. Apparitions of deceased miners were seen by other miners or workers. Now, miners is like miner, like working, not a child miner. Shadows and mists are still seen often, pacing aimlessly. Hoosac. Spirit Stalker, I think you should come and let's go to Lizzie Borden house, and me, you, and Missy. Let's just fucking go. I'm telling you, me, you, Missy, and Annie, let's fucking go. I'm ready to go to the Lizzie Borden house, but it's going to be a road trip because I ain't flying. Whereas we're going to drive up. So you can either drive here and we drive up together from here, or you can fly here and we drive up together. But I ain't flying there. It's too far away. We'll take turns driving, honey. Okay. Now, paranormal teams have ran EVPs, and they say that they usually get a lot of EVPs. They're clear and in abundance. One ghost hunter claimed that shortly after walking in the tunnel, he became very lightheaded and sick until he exited the tunnel. This tunnel is still used and active today, but the spirits stay quite active as well. So, okay. In June of an unknown year, excuse me, Dr. Clifford J. Owens entered the tunnel. Now, he did not believe in ghosts before this. He did not believe in ghosts, but he claimed he had been hearing howls of pain echoing out after a train would go through. So he thought he was hearing someone in there that was injured. Just 2-ton. Honey, if I had a broom, I would. We wouldn't wear underwear so we could grip better. And I would have control of the broom. So I wouldn't crash or be hijacked or anything like that. So, grip. So, yeah, there you go. Anywho, okay. He'd been hearing the echoing out after a train would go through. Okay, so one evening, him and one of his friends, James, who was also a site superintendent, went into the tunnel to see what the howls were coming from. While walking, they both claimed to have seen a headless apparition pacing back and forth over the tracks. They were both in shock and had no explanation. Hear about the circus fire. To Velcro. Well, that's why I said don't wear underwear, because we can grip it better, Velcro will work. Oh. I had a feeling that was going to be a joke, 2-ton. Okay. Dr. Owens wrote about the incidents and said, the quote unquote, the tunnel had a case of acute poltergeistitis, unquote. This is what he wrote. I don't know where it was written. I don't know if it was a book or a newspaper, or I don't know where it was written, but I just copied the exact thing that he wrote. Oh no, I won't get no splinters because I'll sand it down nice and smooth. You know. Okay. Quote. We had traveled about 2 miles into the tunnel when we stopped to rest. Except for the dim, smoky light from our lanterns, the place was cold and dark. James and I stood there talking for a minute or two, and we were just about to turn back out when we heard that mournful sound. It was as if someone was suffering great pain. Then we saw a dim light coming toward us from a westerly direction. At first, I believed it was a workman with a lantern. The light grew closer, and it took on a strange blue color and appeared to change shape into the form of a human being with no head. The light was floating along about 2 feet above the tunnel floor. In an instant, the temperature suddenly dropped and a cold, icy chill ran up and down my spine. The headless man came so close that I could have reached out and touched him, but I was too terrified to move. For what seemed like an eternity, James and I just stood there gaping at this headless body like 2 wooden Indians. The blue light remained motionless for a few seconds, as if it were staring back at us, then floated on towards the east end of the tunnel, and then vanished into thin air, unquote. And he didn't believe in ghosts before, but I'm assuming he did after that. So I probably would have 1 and 2 my britches. So it's a good thing I wasn't there and had a broomstick, because I would have been slipping and sliding all over that, because I would have made a mess. Yeah. So this is why I always say that CC's good for a pee, and that I have to fucking take diapers with me for ghost hunts. You guys have witnessed it. Okay. All you guys have witnessed me on ghost hunts and me pee my pants. Good night, 2-ton. We love you. Good night, Topher. Now, we're going to talk about Salem. Salem, Massachusetts is known to be the most haunted town in the state of Massachusetts. Now, I want to go here too. I want to rent a room. Ouch, I'm sticking. I want to rent a room at the Lizzie Borden house. And during the day, I want to shoot down to Salem. There's also, we can stay 1 night at the Lizzie Borden house, and then we can stay the other night at the haunted hotel that's actually there on the main street in Salem. Because, yeah. Excuse me. Now, Salem. Does everybody know the story of why Salem is haunted, and the witches, and why they say that the Salem is the witchcraft? Hi, Ayla. Does everybody know that story about Salem, Massachusetts, about the witches and all that? Because I'm gonna tell y'all the story. So this is where the Salem witch trials were This is where they took place. You guys have heard about it, the Salem witch trials, correct? Yes, no, flip me off, something. Just answer yes or no. The Sanderson sisters. I don't have a name here. I just have the story. And it's a shortened story. My hand was killing me. Okay, well, we're going to go over it. So, from June 1692 to May 1693, these were stemmed from the witchcraft and witch hunts. The long story of witch hunt began in Europe between 1300 and 1330 and ended in the late 18th century, with the last known execution for witchcraft took place in Switzerland in 1782. Now, these European witch hunts peaked from 1580s and 90s to the 1630s and 40s. So between all that, 40,000 to 60,000 so-called witches were executed, hanged. There were 19 witches hanged and others imprisoned in Salem alone. Witches were considered to be followers of Satan who had traded their souls. Now, it was believed that they changed from human form to animal form and that they rode through the air at night to secret meeting places and orgies. So horrible what happened to those people who were, yes, absolutely. The Salem witch trials and executions came about as the result of a combination of church politics, family feuds, and hysterical children. Came from a political authority. The village itself had a noticeable social divide by a rivalry between its two biggest families. There was the well-to-do Porters, who had a strong connection with Salem's wealthy merchants, and the Putnams, who sought greater autonomy, however you say that, for the village and looked out for the less prosperous families. So one looked out for the more poor and one was all about the rich. Now, I have shortened this story quite a bit because my hand was hurting and this is still a lot that I have. Now, there were fights over property commonplace. They were rampant and hated one another. And then it just became the political, and it was just so divided. And this one didn't like this one because of this. Well, in 1689, through the influence of the Putnams, which was the Putnams was the one that would pay attention to the less fortunate, Samuel Paris, a merchant from Boston by way of Barbados, became the pastor of the village. Now, moving there with his wife, their 3 children, a niece, and they had 2 slaves. It was a man and a wife, slaves. The slaves were from Barbados, but people from the other, from the divide, one person would say they were black and the other people would say they were Spanish. Anyway, they were hated because of the slaves that were now brought into their town. Now, with people not liking all of this, they divided even further into pro and anti Paris factions. There were tales of voodoo from the female slave. Then there was tales of the niece who made a friend and began indulging in fortune telling. which to them, fortune telling is just witchcraft as itself. People claimed that they all had increasingly strange behavior, which included apparent fits, screamings, contorting their bodies, and said that they would bite and scratch people. So it continually grew tall tales of being transformed into witches, and the tales just kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And I had to cut some of this story off. So all of this started from tales and rumors because people didn't know or didn't like someone's skin color. People went crazy thinking witchcraft was being spread among others in the town. No way to prove anything. The hysteria grew and grew. When it came to the trials, the judges took the words of the accusers to heart, being that they were the more prominent people of the town. They were not allowed to have representation. Nobody took their statements. Nobody cared what they thought or had to say about anything. They weren't to believe who they thought was Satan speaking. So because they thought witches came from someone giving your body up and Satan taking over your body because you gave up your soul. Nobody wanted to hear what Satan had to say. So they weren't allowed to speak or defend themselves. So the 19 were hanged. Now, I don't know how many other were imprisoned, but we know of the 19 that were hanged at that time. Now, in 1702, the General Court declared the trials unlawful. 23 of the 33 people who had been convicted were exonerated in 1711 by the Commonwealth of Massachusetts and also paid the families 600 pounds. So I guess back then in the 1700s, 600 pounds was a lot of money. In 1957, Massachusetts formally apologized for the trials. It wasn't until 2001 that the last 11 convicted were fully exonerated and formal apologies were given to the families to show their clean name from the family. The abuses of those trials would contribute to change the U.S. court procedures today and would allow people to have legal representation and cross-examination. No more convicting on assumption of guilt because of those. That's all I've got. So I never realized it was that detailed. I could have kept going and have 15 more pages, but y'all know my right hand is terrible. And I wrote all that by hand. So my hand was already hurting. So I did shorten all that. So, there were a few people's names and there was 7 judges, by the way. It was 7 judges that the trials took place in front of. And they would only allow the accusers to come up and speak. The ones that were being convicted weren't allowed to even speak because they thought it was Satan talking. So because of that mess, it's thundering out there now. That is what legally started the change and started the people allowing to have legal representation and cross-examination. Yep. So in case y'all didn't know all that, I kind of shortened it, but They were all exonerated, and I was very glad to hear that. But you know what? It's just an absolute shame that they were treated that way, first of all, when none of it was true. And then they were hanged and wasn't allowed to defend themselves, and they were just treated as dirt. And it was absolutely horrible. And you know what? I don't have all of their names, and I couldn't find all of their names because I wish I could speak their names for them to be remembered. But I couldn't find. Now, you mentioned the Sanderson sisters. Now, who were they? Were they part of the ones that were hanged, or was that just a couple of them, or who said that? The Sanderson sisters. Yeah. Like, I don't know. Were they a part of were they part that were being accused? Because it ended up being this whole Samuel Paris's niece. I don't know I think the wife, I'm not sure if the wife was, but I know it was thank you. I decorated that myself for March. Was it really? I'm going to have to watch it again. I love that movie. So I know that the niece and the slaves, the man and wife slaves, were amongst the accused and were hanged. I don't know their names, though. Yes, it's been so many years, though, since I've seen it. So I wouldn't mind watching it again. I'm going to write that down because I did not realize that movie was based on them. Isn't that the one that had Bette Midler? Was Hocus Pocus the one with Bette Midler in it? It's been years since I've seen it. So I'm going to see if I can find it and rewatch it. It is the one. Okay. Oh, okay. I'm trying to remember. There was another movie. I don't think it was that one. What the hell? I'll never forget this. I can't think of the name of the movie or the lady's name. I've seen the lady act in other things, but I don't know her name. But I know this one part of the movie, she was at home relaxing, eating cherries. And somebody somewhere else was doing something, and it was causing this lady to eject, like forcefully eject these cherries. If you want to see Thackeray Bind All Grown Up, he's on NC. Who? Thackeray. Is that like a kid in Hocus Pocus? Oh, who didn't love Bewitched? I loved Bewitched, the show. I always wanted to be able to wiggle my nose and pop in and out. That's what I wish we could do, Missy and Spirit Stalker. It's just wiggle our nose and we all of us be there at the Lizzie Borden house. The cat that was a boy. Why am I not remembering this? I'm going to have to rewatch. It's been years since I seen that. Yeah, I loved Bewitched. And I liked the original Darren. the best, even though I liked both of them, but I liked the original the best. There was always some fucking thing. God, it's pouring again. I know y'all hear that. That's crazy how hard it's for 2 solid days. It has been pouring outside. Gosh. So I would absolutely love to just go walk around Salem and yeah. Now here's the thing. Like I know a couple of people who claim they're witches. Okay. Now I have done a lot of reading on witchcraft, like paganism. But to me, it's shut up, Rumpha. See, now some people I know will sit there and somebody will piss them off and they're like, oh, I'm going to go home and I'm going to do this spell and I'm going to do this spell and I'm going to put this in the freezer. And I don't like that. I don't like that. And to me, when I would read about it, it's not like I was trying to practice it. To me, that was more like a religion. I was learning about a different religion. That's how I was kind of looking at it. Well, yeah, me too. Me too, spirit. So to me, if you're a true witch, you don't tell people that you're a true witch. You don't go around and you don't tell people that you're a witch. And you don't tell people that I'm going to put a curse on you and I'm going to do a spell. You just don't do that. You are in private. You don't go around and you don't brag about what you fucking do. But that's just my opinion of it. Wiccan. Wicca is one and pagan is another one. That's the two I read. I even did the little tests and I thought it was cute. And I have a witch name. I do have a pagan witch name and it's Iris Moonstone Blue. I thought it was fucking cool. I've got a blue iris on my ribs because of that. Blue Iris Moonstone Blue. That's why I did the blue flower on me. I've got 2 blue iris and a blue hibiscus on my left ribs. And that's why. I found it fascinating, but I've never wanted to practice it. I just like learning about I considered it a religion, you know. It's someone's belief. We all have a right to have our different beliefs. Now, I don't judge people. But I really don't like it when people are like, oh, they piss me off and I'm going to go home and do a spell. Shut up. Just shut the fuck up. Go home and tend to your own fucking business and don't go around saying stupid bullshit like that. I think it's absurd. Okay? Sorry if you're one that does that, but I speak my mind, and if no one likes it, that's just too fucking bad. But I think it's absurd. You don't brag about doing shit like that. Anyway, I would absolutely, I think witches are beautiful. I love the cauldrons, and I love how I just love all the stuff. I wish to God I could, you know how they have those little hover things? You know, the hoverboards? I would love to have a hover broomstick. I would so ride that around the neighborhood. I would fucking love to have a hover broomstick. Y'all know y'all would too. Y'all fucking know y'all'd be all over that shit. Julie, Ayla, Spirit Stalker. Missy, I know all of you guys would be out there riding that shit with me too. I know you would. That would be, I know Rumpa would even get on there and ride that fucking broomstick. That would be so fun. Hey, let's work on a patent for that. Let's see if we can get a fucking hovering broomstick. That's a freaking business idea right there. Come up with some dumb shit, don't we? That would be so fun. That's right. That would be so fun. Hey, Rumpa, when you drive down here, how long does it take you to get here? Because we're talking about driving up there. I would just love to fuck with people. I would just hover in someone's yard, like, and make sure they see me, and then fly off. And then go hide and watch and see their reaction. You know that shit's funny. Oh gosh. Hell yeah. I saw a gut on the road on a hoverboard. Oh, a guy that had a wheel, thinking he's safe. That had a wheel. "15 to 18 hours. I always go straight through." No, I know you do. I know you do, but I wasn't sure how long it would take to drive, because me and Annie and Spirit Stalker were talking about driving up there, because we ain't flying nowhere with all this shit. Oh, a unicycle. That would be so cool, though, to have like the hoverboards, and they have the drones, right? So who says they can't make like a broomstick that would like hover or be like a drone, but that could carry us, right? Wouldn't that be fucking awesome? And we could just lay it over a sheet or the net and just sit on it and go. And then we could still like you know, drive where we're going and how high and stuff we're going. Oh, that would be awesome. Oh, the thunder. That would be so awesome. But the thing is, if we drove straight through, there would be 3 to 4 of us, so we could switch out driving. That's kind of how when we went over to Louisiana, and we would each drive for 3 to 4 hours, and then we would switch drivers. Yeah, we can drink. So one would drive for 3 to 4 hours. The passenger would be up there to talk to the driver, and the one in the back, we can sleep or do whatever in the back seat. I have a hard time sleeping in a vehicle. But if I'm fucking tired enough, I will. But who says they can't make something like that? Damn, that makes me want to put my mind together. Who do you talk to? Who do you talk to when you have an idea like that? You know what I'm saying? Like, who comes up with, oh, I have this idea. So who do you talk to actually go through and like, oh, well, okay, so I want to build an electric car. Like, who do you talk to go and have that patent and then move forward with it? Like, I don't know. How do you go about doing that? And like for an app, Like I would love to have an app, and I thought about this a long time ago. I would love to make an app where, for instance, say we wanted to take a road trip. Say me and Annie and Spirit Stalker was going to go on a road trip, right? So, well, yeah, I don't have a lot of that. That's for sure. So, say we wanted to go on a road trip, right? Just a girls' trip. No, wait. Say we have 5 whole days and we just want to go drive. And we were just okay. So let's go to Atlanta. On your app, you can pull up your location and it will show you the haunted locations in your area to go to. It'll show you the hotels that are haunted that you can go rent. It'll show you the cemetery shit's happened at. Anything that's been reported with paranormal activity, it would pop up in that location and almost be like a little mapping thing. Oh, that's 8 miles from here. Yeah, does that make sense? It don't matter where you go, you could go and pop up to what's haunted around. Oh, this one's 10 miles from here. You want to go over there? Right? Wouldn't that be a fucking cool app? I know 1,000 people that would have that because they want to go ghost hunting wherever they go. Now we have places. Now we can find out how to get there. Places that you haven't heard of. There's so many haunted places that we haven't heard of all the places. You know what I mean? There's so many places. We just hear of the big the like the Lizzie Borden house or Salem. It's something big like that. We know about it. But there's shit that happens in little towns that people don't know about. That's not put out there. But anything from any town, if it's been reported of activity, it's shown on the app. Wouldn't that be cool as shit? Who do you talk to? I don't know who to talk to tell them your idea about an app. How do you go about it? Like, what do you I don't know who to talk to. Something I might have to look into or ask around. I know probably every person in here would probably download that app. And we'd be like, okay, we're meeting halfway. Uncle, we're going to stay in this hotel. And 5 miles away from that hotel is a fucked up cemetery we're going to go to. Right? That we could do. We could do that. Hi, Terry. Tell me that wouldn't be cool as shit. Every single person in here would download that app. Yeah. Yep. I don't know what I'd name it. Ghost Finder. No, there's already apps out there. Those are like ghost equipment, though. They have like EVPs and SLSs, and they have those kind of apps, but they don't have like location, the actual haunted locations map app. The Ghost Map app. Ghost Map app. Do you have the map app? That's what I was. Yeah, something. Yeah, that would be fun. That would be awesome. I might have to start asking some questions around and see how people go about doing shit like that. Because there's so many people that are like, oh, we made this app. You did? We came up with the idea for this app. How? I've got the idea up here. How do I make it happen? Anyway, I'm going to get off of here soon. Now, Terry, me and Annie went yesterday and we found dresses to wear for the wedding. So she's coming Thursday night here and staying the night. And we're just going to get up Friday morning and have our coffee and be on our fucking way to see you. Yeah, girl. We will be with Terry. Terry's daughter is getting married next Saturday. So we will be down there visiting Terry and Rita next weekend. So I will not have my podcast next weekend, but I can go live on YouTube either during the wedding or for the reception or something, but I'll definitely go live. Shit, you get to see me in a dress too. I don't wear dresses either. It's not bad. Annie's is very colorful. Mine is like an off-white with a bunch of pink flowers all over it. And then I've got the dark brown sandals that match it. So, yeah. So it's pretty cute. And Annie's is longer and hers is real colorful. So, other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed the Massachusetts hauntings. I am going to do Michigan next since we clarified that from the beginning. I am going to do all the states one by one. I'm starting that new little states series. Uncle, you don't wear a dress. It was good to see you guys. And I am going to be live over here on Clapper for a little while longer. I am kind of sleepy. And the time change didn't bother me at all. I didn't mind it staying light a little longer. Anyway, I'm not sure if I'll be on Wednesday or not. Wednesday is, I'm getting a tattoo on Wednesday. And my appointment's at 2 though. But yeah, I'll be there in the afternoon. So I probably won't. I might go live while I'm over there. I'm not sure yet. But you guys all know the tattoo artist. And then next weekend I'll be, so my next for sure podcast will be next Wednesday. But I'm sure I will go live between now and then. So I'll be live over here on Clapper. I love you guys so much. Spirit Stalker, get on over there and mail me my shit. Just kidding. I love you guys so much. I hope you guys have a wonderful night. And yeah, it's going to be Monday. So get some rest.